Okay, hey everybody, we're back with more Life and Times of George Washington, and we're now to the crossing of the Delaware. Now, this isn't the first time that Washington crossed the Delaware. They had done it in earlier December in order to escape the British while they had made their retreat through New Jersey and made their way into Pennsylvania. Well, now on Christmas night, 1776, Washington was going to put that plan that we talked about in the last episode into motion. And the army moved towards the Delaware River in darkness, and it was cold, of course. And nothing about the crossing was, a guarantee, and nothing was certain. There was ice that filled the river, the snow and the sleet that were falling were just cut the visibility. The boats were overloaded and difficult to control. The men, couldn't keep their footing on the frozen planks, and equipment, it was a challenge. Stuff was getting dropped into the river. Some units arrived late on the far side, and some never even arrived at all. And so the timetable for the crossing collapsed almost immediately. The attack on Trenton was supposed to happen at dawn, but by the time the river crossing finished, it was already daylight. And at that point, Washington was faced with another decision. And that was, should we just turn back and admit, defeat and admit that the gamble had failed? Or should they just go ahead and press forward? They were tired, they were exposed, and they were behind schedule. And so he, facing, what he had to, he decided to press forward. Not because conditions were great, but because, retreat now meant that it would be the end of the army. It would just be seen as another thing to cause more of those folks that were faced with their enlistments coming to an end just to go ahead and pick up and go home. So the march toward Trenton was brutal. It was hard. The men were trudging through the snow. Some of them were leaving behind, bloody footprints because of inadequate footwear. The muskets were starting to ice over. And if the British discovered them on the route, there wouldn't be any escape as they made their way toward Trenton. And so the crossing of the river, it didn't win anything in itself. It only just made the next risk that they faced possible.